Should go back live here in a second. There we go. All right, we're back. We're having some major technical difficulties here in the studio these past few weeks. I need to do some like deep dive troubleshooting of this computer. Not sure what's going on with it. Could have been that I moved things around, or I plugged in TV up here the other day to the graphics card. I don't know if it's just like, it's weird that it works for a while and then goes out. I don't know why it would do that. I would think it would either just work or not work, but
that cooling issue possibly.
Could be. Well, let's see how long we can go. I was talking about Ghost. I don't know where it cut me off, but anyways, the last one that I wanted to show here, let me go back to the screen where you guys can see, is our, Google Sites. It's another kind of what Corey and I had to make Google Sites page for our classes.
Yeah. Somehow I've like missed that this existed for a long time, and like it's definitely it's all right. It's kind of clunky. Like it's not like, I feel like the layout stuff isn't quite as like slick as maybe some other options. I noticed that like the image embedding isn't like, there's something slightly off about it sometimes. Do you know what I mean, Jay? Like, yeah. Where like when you're scrolling, you'll see like a white space behind like the images, where I don't see that on like nice like Squarespace sites or whatever. But like it's very similar to the sort of thing you end up with like Squarespace. Like in terms of like the template and the layout.
Oh, look at that. Does this look familiar to anybody?
Oh my goodness! Wow.
These were pictures of the studio that I took when we first moved in.
Oh my goodness. Wow, I haven't seen these for wow. Yeah, I'm at.
Yeah, that was the sea of boxes.
I'm gonna have PTSD. I'm having flashbacks right
now. Oh, look at those! There was a time when when those were gonna be set up right in this room, so I'm glad that didn't happen.
We fought so hard against that. Why was the desk all set up nicely like that then?
Right here?
Yeah, or no, like the monitors and this.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was weird. I don't remember this. It's funny.
Yeah, we had it set up because we had that. I thought we were talking about like doing the sign-in monitor or
there's
station.
The old iMac, huh?
Yeah, that's long gone.
Yes.
Is the table still in the same spot it is right now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
We were still running the live streams even back then. So.
All right. Yeah.
We've done a lot of upgrading. The room here has a door. Everything's still pretty much in the same spot it was in the back there. But
yep, that's exactly where I'm sitting.
Yep.
At that exact
like
table.
So much bigger in here now than it did back then with all the looms.
Right.
You know. But
anyways,
there you go. Kind of a blast from the past for everybody watching. I don't know how many people were coming in here then, but
I don't know if anyone was.
Gosh, look at the lab, like the difference now.
You know, right?
And this was like a year. It looked like this. Yeah. Over a year.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. COVID really. The pandemic really like destroyed my sense of time, I think.
That looks better.
Yeah,
that was the Aldergrove classroom last year.
Yeah, totally.
When we did this, look at the nice space.
That's exactly how that looks now.
Yeah, it's a mess. There's the old setup. I forgot I put these on here. Hey, that's cool.
Oh, is that from me? You go back. I think that's a scene from recording the album. This looks like, or something. What's going on in there? So I think that's my amp. I was there, I think, because I was tracking guitars for the record. That's now done.
Sweet. And there's that panel that fell off.
Yeah, that thing's attached still. Yeah. Oh, and that gaming chair that kept falling over. I don't miss that thing. That thing was so top heavy. It would like people would get up out of it and it would just like fall over.
I have it at home now and it works fine. Yeah. Okay. I don't have any problems with it.
Great. I'm glad. It like, happened a few times. I was like, I gotta get this thing out of here.
So this is what we were like, you know. But this is a nice option and this is free.
It's fine. Yeah, it's like it's totally fine. So maybe like can we compare that? Can we like look at some like websites that are like actual artists have?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I just thought I'd pull up some examples of some random websites, and I thought I'd start with one that looks I think actually maybe slightly worse than yours. That is a band that is signed to Atlantic Records, a major record label. This is a website that ostensibly has a like multi-billion-dollar business behind it.
Yeah, here we go.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Now
Welcome to 100gex.com. So this is a website for a major label artist. So like, why would a musician make a website? I think this is like a real question, right? Like, what's the point? In this era where everyone's just going to be on Facebook or Instagram. Man, they have a Facebook? Wow. Wow. Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or whatever.
All the sources, huh?
Oh, they have a Discord. I did not notice that. Here, I'm off after this. So the reason I think like the number one thing is a splash page, right? We're all on like everyone's like trying to meet people where they're at, right? Social media stuff. But like for example, like I'm most active on social media on Instagram. I think a lot of people are. But like I like didn't know that they had a Discord. How would you know? Like also with Discord, like how do you know unless there's a link to it somewhere else, right? That's like the cool thing about Discord and why it works cool is that it's not as discoverable. It's more like underground, like different servers and stuff. So like this is a great place to like lay out all of your like social links for someone who is gonna maybe like find you via Google versus someone who's gonna find you via a social media platform.
Is this the first thing that shows up when you search their name?
Great question. Probably. Yes.
Yep, the official website.
So this sort of thing is really crucial for search engine optimization. And I think that's the other good reason to like do this. Especially like in this day and age when like a lot of band names and artist names and like just like unique business names are getting taken already. You know, like we've had like a long time for people to come up with brand names and like, you know, like if it's an increasingly crowded space as there's more people in the world, as people continue to create names for things that then continue to exist. Or just, you know, like I can't go and name my band The Beatles because that's already taken, even though that band hasn't existed for decades. You know, you might end up with some wacky name like 100gex. And that's like not, like it might not be easy to find online. But if you're having a website really gives the search engine something to latch onto. And when your socials link to the website, so like search engine optimization is all about interlinking stuff. Mostly, it's about like having the right words on your site, but it's also about like linking to other sites and then other sites linking to your site. And so like search engines see that there are a bunch of interconnections between sites and are like, oh, this site must be important. A bunch of people are linking here. Like whenever the subject comes up, people are linking to this place. It must be a good place to link to. So that's why we end up with this as the top result. So like, what do we get here? It's like really basic. It's just like it's a splash page with 4 tabs. Just like pretty much just like your website, Jay.
Yeah.
Like with the links to the appropriate socials, right? We have like their like socials that they're active on, and their socials that like the different like the 3 big music streaming or 4 big music streaming platforms, right? Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and SoundCloud. I don't really think of Amazon Music as being a big one, but I think a lot of people do use it. And YouTube, of course, is other large music discovery service, and then Discord for their like direct communication with fans, and you know, Discord servers tend to be like fan clubs for artists, like mostly. They're really fun. If anyone's watching the stream and hasn't like dove into the world of Discord, I would recommend it. I have said this before on the stream. It's not that hard to use, and it's like a million times better experience than using Zoom for video chatting. If you just want to have a conversation with your family and you like would like to like have it feel more conversational and less like you're cutting each other off all the time, I'd highly recommend trying Discord as a platform. But aside from that, you can go and just like you find people having the most niche conversations about all kinds of weird stuff there, but you have to go and find the links to the servers somewhere else. So that's the tricky part. But if you can find your way in, we got a MARZ server here where we talk about MARZ project stuff all the time. Yada, yada, yada. So anyways, aside from these links to other places, like what's even the point of having this site? Search engine optimization, right? And then you can, so Jay asked me, like, what would you want on a site, right? So there's like the splash page, which is this. Then there's like the ability to embed stuff. So like if you click on the music tab, this site doesn't do this thing in particular. These are all like links to listen to their different releases. So if we click on those, we're led to a splash page that lets us choose our service that we listen on. This is great. So like this isn't hosted on the site. This is like a third-party service that they've just utilized. So it's like the actual web design here is incredibly basic. Black background, like an old logo, like some album covers, like a basic font. Here's their tour this page. So here's the other thing, right? Tour dates, pretty important for like any performing artist. You got to tell people when you're performing, and so this is like a great thing for your website. A lot of people use like things like there's aggregation websites that like trawl the internet, like looking for tour dates for people, and then we'll like list them places. Sometimes those things get stuff wrong or miss your show, and you can't rely on those things to find out about your thing. So like if you want to tell your fans when you are going to be somewhere doing something, the website is a really important thing. So here's just like the most basic crummy list of like no design.
It works.
But it works, right?
It's
super effective. Like there's no confusion here. I do like that about this. It's incredibly clear.
I prefer that over like a map that showed like where things are happening. You have to go look around and see. Like that's just nice. It's just straightforward.
So this is powered by another app. This page, like these results are auto-populated by an app called Seated, which looks like it is a subsidiary of SoFar, which is a company I have huge issues with. I don't like take a moral stance against a lot of like music industry companies or whatever, but like SoFar Sounds I think is extremely predatory. Let me rant about them real quick.
Okay.
Dude, okay, this is awful. I had some friends who played a SoFar Sounds show recently and had a negative experience, and or not a great experience necessarily, anyways. But SoFar Sounds, basically they are like Airbnb for house concerts. Is like a way of thinking about it. So they have like taken like the cool thing about Airbnb was like, oh, like when you travel to a city, like you can go like crash at someone's house, right? And so they took that idea and commodified that. Like you go like stay with your friend, and they were like, oh hey, well what if you could charge money for that? There's like this cool culture, this underground culture of like house concerts, and what maybe like. Not like this kind of like crusty punk rock house show kind of thing, but this like kind of like more bougie upscale like house concert idea where like bands or artists might show up and like have a show that's hosted in somebody's living room instead of like a cool concert venue or like listening room. I played a lot of shows like this when I was on tour back in the day. I was playing acoustic music, and like this is really big in like the folk and acoustic world because you can host those shows in your living room with no PA. So it's like super convenient, and then like you're getting this like as an audience member, you're getting this incredibly intimate experience where you're like 10 feet away from like the artist, and it's just a very different thing. It's like it's really cool, and for artists, it's a huge moneymaker because you're not paying venue overheads. Usually, like the people hosting the show don't charge you for it. I've never had that experience. They just like love having music in their house and like want to provide this thing, like hosting parties, and so like they were easy ways to make a bunch of money, and like we could charge more than you would charge for a ticket for a normal show and keep a greater percentage of that ticket, and so like those were always the best money making shows on tour for us. And so what SoFar Sounds has done is taken that model and commodified it, so they now are a middleman between artists and house venues, and instead of like bands making a bunch of money when they play these gigs, they like shove like 3 bands. Like you normally be like one group show up and play a couple sets at a house, and you'd make bank. Now the SoFar Sounds model is they have like 3 artists. They all show up and like play this like house concerty gig, and they don't make anything. I think they get paid $100 an act, and that's like I would normally make more than that as an individual in my band. Typically we'd be making like thousands of. Like at least $1,000 at a house show, as a 4-piece band. Like those were always good gigs. Anyways, blah blah blah. SoFar Sounds is a big thumbs down for me. That's my thing. Keep it independent, y'all. You don't need a corporate middleman to like go play a show in a house. Just talk to the person who lives there. Anyways, that's my rant. Rant over.
Nice.
Other things they do here, right? They embed some video, or no, they don't even embed it. They just link to their YouTube.
Right to their YouTube.
Man, like it's like, and then merch. They don't even sell it there.
What's that?
Oh no, they do. Okay, they do sell it here. But is this like
store, it's probably...
This looks hosted elsewhere?
Yeah, so you can always check. A lot of times if you scroll all the way down to the bottom like Corey just did, there's typically a like copyright or some kind of other icon that's like tells you what kind of store it is.
Yeah, I don't see... I think this may be a actual, like... I'm not seeing like the hosting service here. See if there's like a FAQ here. Like this may be a web store that is run by their label.
So merch in stores is a whole nother thing.
Yes.
You know, if you're a digital artist and you're trying to sell merch like, you know, shirts and prints and things like that, there's a lot of print on demand services. I haven't found one that I really liked yet. I've done a little bit of research on it. But it's definitely a very deep rabbit hole of things to, you know, of places like reviews to watch, and there's a lot of kind of more like a lot of it feels a little bit scammy. So if you're doing research on it, watch what you're, you know, paying for, because, you know, it's easy to find yourself sort of watching promotional material even on YouTube. So finding honest reviews for a lot of these products are kind of difficult when it comes to like print on demand stuff. The best way to do it is to actually just get something printed and shipped to your house, and that way you can, you know, physically see the item yourself and kind of do your own review.
Totally.
But it is an option if you have, you know, I know a lot of artists that will do prints and stuff, or sell at conventions or things like that. That's another thing. If you're a digital artist and you go to, you know, say you do fan art stuff and you go to anime conventions or whatever, you know, doing prints and selling at conventions is big. So like having your site tell people where you're going to be and when, you know, what conventions you're going to be at, you know, where you're going to be selling stuff, you know.
It's essential. So like it's part of a holistic approach that involves like social media posts detailing where you're going to be, and like a reel or video or TikTok or whatever, like telling people where you're going to be too, and then like also those dates are listed on the website, and like so you can see this, like it takes so much like time and energy to do all this stuff where you're like gosh, it could turn into a job right away, you know, like instantly it feels like a lot of labor. I'm tired just talking about it. I have some shows coming up in the next couple of months, and like I'm like thinking about like, oh man, I gotta like make a flyer and like promote it like somehow, right? You know, I gotta like post it to social media in like these multiple avenues and like tag the right people and like repost it and like post physical flyers places if I want to really get people to come out, and like, you know, there's just like so much labor going on there. So, you know, like it can be draining, but at the same time, if you're trying to get people to come see what you're doing, then like you gotta let them know what's happening. There's no other way, and like you have to find them where they're finding this information, because people aren't like gonna find you if they don't know to come find you. Right. So this is how you tell them. So I want to show. Can I show a couple other examples of these? I just like was flipping through them. So I pulled up a couple of random other sites from like some artists that I like and some artists that my students like. So I thought I was looking at Mick Gordon's website just now. I thought this was a really cool example. So Mick Gordon is a composer for video games mostly, among other things. But this site does a very different job than what the 100 gecs website, and it's because he's doing a different job. It still has the same old splash to the same old social links. Right here at the bottom. All of these sites that we've looked at so far have this sort of thing at the bottom. But this one's more of like an artist's like portfolio than promoting a band. And the tone here is different, right? The projects are up front. It's not the band up. I mean, like so, like the gecs website, like you know, like it's showcasing their like this is their new album coming out, and this is their EP that just came out, and that's all that's there, right? And so. They're really pushing the current content, you know, but like Mick isn't like selling stuff. He's selling his work to gaming studios, you know, and so this is really a portfolio. So if you want to hire Mick Gordon to compose or design the sound for your game, you'll come here and see what he does and see if you like him. If if you want to hire Mick Gordon for your game, you probably already know what he does. Yeah. It's like it's pretty well known. So I think this is super cool. Like if you click on like one of the things, you get it's basically just a this flips through the different ones. It's like I was thinking the Gex site would be more like, it's a bunch of embedded media showing what he did. So he has like a little discussion about what he did. Richard Devine did some of this stuff. Quentin, you should look up Richard Devine. He's a pretty cool guy. Interesting synth nerd. Right. So here's the game soundtrack embedded as a Spotify player. If you guys, cool. If you want to learn anything about some deep industry drama, you should get out there and read that statement he put out about this soundtrack and why it doesn't sound like what he wants it to sound like. It's really more the Doom Eternal thing that's the real issue than this one, but I guess that's the one that's the problem. But I don't know if they differentiate it here. Anyways, so this is the sort of thing like if you're making visual assets or like game assets, this would be a great way to like showcase each individual project, and they each like have some character, and you get to like sort of like get a sense of his creation just from the visuals here, even though he's not the visual guy, right? You get a sense of what the thing's about, and you can hear it immediately. And so it's just a direct connection to his work if you find him this way. Of course, you can find this, like this stuff's all streaming on Spotify, right? So you can find that stuff there as well if that's where you want to look for it. But
yeah, that embedded Spotify player is pretty slick looking.
It's super slick. Can we see what it does? I'm not I don't know if it knows that I'm logged in. I'm kind of curious. Like, yeah, so it's playing like a snippet. I think it's playing on my laptop speakers too instead of over the stream. But
oh, was it?
I think so. I couldn't tell for a second. I'm like, is that just how it sounds? Oh yeah. See, now it's trying to get me like.
Get Spotify.
Oh, that's interesting. Like I have Spotify and I'm logged in on the app on my computer, but it doesn't know that. It's not smart enough here. Anyways. So yeah, like look at this. Like here's maybe a lesson. Like I wouldn't necessarily choose this player as like if I was really trying to get people to listen to my stuff. There's our barrier. I'm already like I have Spotify, like, and so it's now going to try and like link me to something. Yeah, it's going to try and open the app. I don't want to do that. So like like thinking about like whether like people are going to be like steered away from your website or not. Like this is the whole thing. Like, this isn't very friendly of a player. Yeah, so I prefer something else like the SoundCloud embedder seems to work a bit better. Yeah, so
can you track like for SoundCloud? Is it just available for free? I mean, I know that like every play on Spotify is going to get you like some.
Yeah, SoundCloud's an interesting one. Gosh, I guess we failed to get there on this stream. We could even have a whole discussion about these music distro options. But briefly, SoundCloud, generally, you can monetize tracks on SoundCloud because there's now a paid option.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it kind of like killed the vibe for me, to be honest. But it used to be a great thing, but now there's like tons of ads on SoundCloud. I think there's probably ad blockers that get rid of them, but I don't spend enough time there to like really know.
Yeah.
SoundCloud is a really great place. Like that's like the number one place that I would recommend distributing. Like SoundCloud and YouTube. If you're gonna put your music anywhere, it's free and you can directly upload to those places. You can also upload your music to other places too. Like it's very simple to get your music onto places like Apple Music and Amazon and Spotify. There's a number of free services. I've been pointing people to Amuse, which is an interesting one that I know some people who use, and it's like the distribution stuff is free, and then you can like pay for like increased features. Oh yeah, so like it looks like they don't distribute to Instagram or TikTok by default.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So like like when you make a reel on Instagram or whatever, like make a TikTok video, you have these like options of you can add music to it. So these like generate revenue for artists. And
the potential to like go viral with it too.
Sure, yeah. So like my music that I have distributed through DistroKid, which is like an alright, it's an alright service. This one is like it's like $20 a year, which is like pretty affordable. And this one does like mostly what I like about it is that it goes tons of places. It's pretty simple. You keep 100% of the money, which is nice, and there's no limit on uploads or stuff. There's definitely a handful of features that are really like a drag, and like they want to like price you up into their like $35 or $50 like a year tiers or whatever, but it's not terrible, you know. And then yeah, this goes everywhere. So like if you post a story or on Instagram or make a TikTok video and you search Bumblecrow, you'll find my old music on there and you can embed it, you know?
Have you had anybody make any
I don't know if I get like notified. I've not seen a notification of it.
You just have to go look up that song, because I know you can usually search by the song.
Yeah, in the app you like pull up the music thing and you can pull up stuff, and you find all sorts of like rare, and like you'd be surprised at what's in there if you start searching, you know. So that's pretty straightforward to do. This does cost money. MARZ is free, but it doesn't go as many places. You might run into problems with this service, like if you wanted to upload a bunch of things under a bunch of different artist names, because it's like paying per artist or whatever. Like it starts to get kind of squirrely in there. But like you can have as many SoundCloud accounts as you want. You can have as many YouTube accounts as you want, and you can upload there's upload limits on SoundCloud if you don't pay for it, but you can just like make a new account for your other. It's not ideal, but so the other nice thing about those places is that they have social features that are way more robust than like Spotify or Apple Music, or I guess I don't know what goes on Amazon Music, but I assume it's not there either. Like this, the social discovery features of SoundCloud and YouTube are great. You know, you find information in the comments on YouTube. You can like click, like there's comments on the tracks on SoundCloud, and you can click on those people and like see what else they've commented on. You know, and the other big one is Bandcamp. I didn't even mention Bandcamp. So like Bandcamp.com is maybe like the best resource for like musicians. I can show you. I haven't updated it in many years. Oh, that's not the URL. I don't know what the URL is. Oh, let me figure out how URLs work. Oh, no, that's not it either. I don't know what the URL is anymore. Well,
what, if you just search it on there, will it show up?
I'm logged in.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, look at that. Don't look at that. View site. So this is like an old page I made a long time ago. This is like not been updated in many ages, but
so you can do your own background and banner and stuff.
You get like it's essentially like a little website that you get. So if you like, you know, you can like there's no like this is like this artist splash page. So there's no like artist landing page, but if you like end up like on one of the release pages, you get like custom information. I gotta really update that bio. It's got somebody's dead name in it. It's been a long time since I've updated this. Yeah, and you can see the like 3 people who've actually paid for this. And so the nice thing about this is you can like point, like there's some discovery features here too. So I can like click on like one of these folks and see, like this is my friend Devin. I can like see what else like he's purchased. And so like yeah.
And you get like the high quality MP3
totally.
or whatever.
Yeah, so like looks like he bought a copy of 7G. You go like take a look. If you're interested in that, you can go take a look. And like here's this site, you know. So right, I was saying you can sell merch here, right, Jay? So like here's this release.
You can get it as like
so you can buy the 7 CD box set.
Oh.
Which or you can buy the album. Well, it's an expensive digital album, but that's because it's 49 songs or 50 songs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Huge. But yeah, so this is like.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So like you can offer free downloads here too. Like this, my records, you can name a price of 0 and download them. Yeah, so like definitely, I actually need to update that because I have some music. I have a bunch of music that's not on here. But I haven't thought about this for a long time because I haven't thought about promoting my music much for a long time. I was taking a backseat to doing that and focusing on playing in other bands and focusing on other people's music. So here we go. Yeah. Bandcamp. So it's great. You can like depending on the artist, you know, you can end up like with merch or like buying like vinyl records. Like I'm just kind of curious. Like if we look up these guys,
I've seen that stuff on Spotify too sometimes.
Yeah, Spotify's added those features too recently.
You can buy the vinyl or whatever.
Yeah, it looks like these guys don't have it together to do that. But like I was noticing that you can buy the Hannah Diamond record on here. So like here's like her album. You can buy it. You can buy the digital album. You can buy it on CD. You can buy it on vinyl. You can buy like 2 editions on vinyl, right? And so it's like it's all right here, and they handle the payments and everything. So it's like a store.
Yeah.
So like, this is why I was like saying earlier that like like getting the web store aspect of stuff together is a huge pain in the butt. You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's mostly just like the website thing, right? Search engine optimization, control of your content, and like direct links to the places you want to send people, and then aggregating things. Really, it's like all like.
It's a big part of it. I think just having that creative aspect of how you want to show your work is important to kind of branching out from just doing social media stuff and really showcasing your skills as an artist. So I definitely recommend to anyone out there, if you're curious about web design stuff and want to give it a try, you can come and hang out with us here at MARZ and we can dive into web design. I'd love to do more of it. But it's a lot of fun to explore what the options are out there, and get really creative with it depending on your level of interest in coding and stuff. So I think that I think that it's definitely something that's worth learning as an artist, just getting into a little bit of web development stuff.
It's pretty important, especially as so much of like art and media consumption is online.
Right.
That like you can like represent yourself exactly the way you want to represent yourself. Speaking of which, one more website. I flipped through here earlier when you were talking, but I didn't actually show it. I wanted to show Umru's website real quick. So Umru is a musician and also a graphic designer. And so this site serves as a sort of bizarro combo of those 2 things, right? So this is like an artist portfolio, right? And then also like a musician website, right? So like I noticed that you can move this asset around, which is kind of bizarre. Like it's very like I think the aesthetic is janky GeoCities website, right? So this is like these. It's this bizarro, like I don't know what to say about this. You just see what's happening, right? There's tons of links, but it's like this is just a bio.
With all the links as part of the.
Yeah, with like everything's hyperlinked. Upcoming gigs, booking link, and then just a bunch of releases. So you can like click through here, and this is gonna open. This looks like these are gonna open these like link to links that like the same sort of this thing. This seems to be pretty popular.
Link to.
Yep. And here's links to buy the stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So you can scroll through. I think this is like almost every song he's ever done. Like there's.
Wow.
It's like Anyways, so it's like this very like. It's this like clear like visual branding thing. Like I think this represents his identity super well, and you have that power when you control the website. That's the lesson.
Yeah. So yeah, sweet. I guess we'll. Oh, there we go. I was like, why is that not working? Can't do it in OBS. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up for today. Hopefully, I can figure out what our technical issues are here. I just need some time to sit down with the computer and work it out. But good luck on your journey of figuring out how you want to share your artwork, and let us know if we can help with anything. And you know where to find us. Guess until next time.
See you later.
Mm-hmm. Where's my button?
See you later.
See you later.